Okay, in this video, we are going to talk about how to set up and use the Code Editor app for Android. Okay, so let's head on to the Code Editor app. I'm already in the Code Editor app. So you click on this sidebar by the top left corner. We click on it. So the first option there is internal storage. We open it. So the internal storage basically allows you to move through or locate any folder you want to locate in your internal storage. You can also open a file from your internal storage if you want to. So click on documents, open our project folder. So the app allows you to create a folder, a new folder or a new file with this floating plus button by the top, by the bottom right corner. So firstly, let's create a folder. So we'll call the folder images. It has been created, as you can see. So now let's try creating a file. Let's call our file index.html and you can see the file has been created. So we can choose to open the file from here and see the file has been opened, but it's empty. So that allows you to basically create a file that is empty and you can edit later on. So that is the name of the file above in that corner. So let's close the file, or rather let's leave it open and explore other places. Okay, so the bookmark basically allows you to bookmark your favorite folder, like it's the folder you frequently go into. So let's try to bookmark our project folder. So internal storage, documents. So if you want to bookmark a folder, you enter the folder and click on this star icon on the top bar. So you click on it, you choose the name you want to save it as. I want to save the bookmark as the project folder name, so I'll click on OK. And if we go back to bookmarks, voila, we can see that it has been added. So you can choose to enter the folder easily without navigating through all this hassle. So let's go to recent files. Recent files just shows you files that you recently created or recently opened. Recently added shows files that you have recently created, and recently opened shows files that you recently edited. Okay, that is just about recent files. Then we'll go to storage manager. Okay, storage manager. The storage manager basically shows you all the storage devices connected to this app. Okay, so there's an internal storage which we have already viewed. So if there's an SD card, or yes, like an SD card or a memory card, SD card or memory card, whichever one you prefer to call it, it will be shown here, as well as a USB storage. It will also be shown here. But do you know that we can add a cloud you can add a cloud storage here? You can either add an FTP storage. An FTP storage is just like a file transfer protocol. FTP, you can use it to store various files on your website or your web server. So our web server app can help us do that, but we will not cover that in this video. We will only look at adding from Google Drive. So if you click on this plus button here, you see various options. You see the FTP/FTPS/SFTP. So the FTP is not actually a safe version, just like HTTP is not a safe version, but HTTPS is more secure. Just like that, FTPS is more secure than FTP. So the WebDAV is also there. Dropbox, if you have a Dropbox account, you can link it to the app. If you have a Google Drive account, you can link it to OneDrive, GitHub, and GitLab. The usefulness of this GitHub and GitLab attachments is for those of you who have PCs, and maybe without your PCs you want to work on your files through your mobile phone. You can use those options, or you can use the option, or even if you cannot access your GitHub account for meantime and you just want to access the files there, you can also use that. So we'll use Google Drive. You have to click on Google Drive icon. and it should open up where you should choose your account. So I'll choose the account which I'm using for saving all my files, or retrieving the files I have. So I'll click on OK. Okay, and said okay, there's no internet connection, so we'll have to turn on the internet connection. That is mobile data. Okay, let's try doing that again. See Google Drive. Okay, it to be added. It's taking more time than expected, but it will eventually load. Okay, so I think Google Drive is asking me to trust code editor. Yes, I trust code editor. Okay, and it will be added to the storage manager swiftly. Okay, an ad will pop out. So these ads are very annoying. So close it, and immediately I think Google Drive sends me a security alert. So you see it. Well, as you can see, it has been added different codes Google Drive. So I can click on it to access any file that has been saved inside here. And recently I haven't saved any file, so because it's just a new Gmail account. So if I save a file and open my Google Drive app, it will appear there. So we have covered that. So let's go to settings. We won't talk about remove ads because it's just simply removing the ads from the app, and nobody will want to pay for that yet. Or if you can pay, you can pay. Okay, so below the internal storage, you can see that the different codes option has been added. So if I wish to enter the directory, I can enter. So you have to use internet connection since it's from an external source and not from your local device. So I'll click on settings. So in settings, you have to put on different settings to be able to use this app. Okay, so language language is automatic at default. So anytime you type it, to check your language, the language in which you type in, and set it to that. So you can set it to English to be able to make it more accessible. Okay, they said the setting will be applied after a restart. So if we restart the app, it will be applied. So word wrap, what does word wrap does? Word wrap simply makes your code not fall beyond, or not go beyond your screen size. I will show you that now. Okay, so paste a little something. This is the effect of word wrap. As you can see, none of the text is going beyond my screen size, but if I choose to off word wrap, okay, if I choose to off word wrap, you see how all the text are in a line. That is essentially what word wrap does. So if you can choose to on word wrap or off it, but really you have to keep word wrap off if you want to write your code efficiently without disturbances and confusion. So you'll be the one to add your new lines anytime you need a new line. So let's go back to the settings. Word wrap is off. So the file type filter simply shows that when you are looking for files in your internal storage, it only shows you text files. It does not show you your HTML document. So the reason why we could see our HTML document before is because it is off. But if we switch it, is because it was off. If we switch it on and we go to our internal storage to look for our HTML documents, okay, it's still there. Okay, I think there's a problem, but we'll go back to that later. but just know that the file type filter hides non-text file while opening files. Okay, so resume session opens the app and resumes whatever you were doing previously before you close the app. If you close the app while you are typing something, and if you when you open it back, it will start exactly from that place you stopped. Okay, so the show suggestion option shows suggestions when you are coding. When you are coding, it shows suggestion relative to the programming language you are using. For example, if you choose HTML, when you are typing or when you are writing a HTML document, it shows suggestions when you are writing something. Okay, so it's off. I think that is the default. So while it's off, it will show you suggestions. Let's come down and write something. Let's say write HT, and you can see the suggestions are coming out. These are suggestions from HTML. So that is what that does. So with that suggestion on, you can change the syntax. So changing the syntax meaning is just like changing the suggestions you want to come out. So by default, the syntax is changed to the file extension format. As you can see, the file is saved at index.html. Supposing the file was saved with index.php, PHP suggestions would have come out. So let's change the syntax. So you click on syntax. After clicking on this three dotted menu icon by the top right, you click on it. So you click on syntax. Then let's choose, because there are a lot of languages here you can use. So we'll only use the one we are using for this. Course. So click on HTML. Okay, let's use JavaScript. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's use function, and you can see, without having to type out all this, you can just simply tap and get it. It's not as effective as the suggestions by Emmet in VS Code, as Visual Studio Code. Emmet shows really effective suggestions for rather simple programming. So it's very effective. Emmet is very effective, but it's for PC users. So you can use this as your own Emmet, in quotes, your own Emmet. So let's head on to the next settings. Indentation character. Indentation character is the character you use to create an organized root document, like an organized rooted document. For example, you might not understand what I'm doing, but let's change the syntax back to HTML and write a HTML snippet. Okay, so HTML5. Let's change the different codes. Okay, so as you can see, the head is not directly under the HTML tag. There's a space after the new line. So the space is added automatically when you come to a new line under another tag. For example, it is added automatically. So if I write a tag, for example, title tag, and I come down, it will take me to the next place. So that is what it essentially does. Okay, so let's open the file back. So the file has been removed. Okay, let's open bookmarks and open the HTML file. So that is what it is. That is how it is. So that is what that setting does. Okay, so next one, auto indent, is you can choose to indent by yourself, but to indent makes it more organized. You won't have to stress yourself. Then show line numbers. As you can see, the line numbers were shown 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 to 12. So if you're writing a tag, if you're writing with the tag format, you can click on the number to hide that tag. As you can see, everything we have written has reduced to 3 lines, because from line 4 to 11 has been, or rather line 4 to 12 has been hidden inside the line 3 tag, because everything is inside the HTML tag that was opened in line 3. You can see. So we can also close the one of head, we can close the one of body, and also close HTML. So that is what that actually does. So let's go back to the settings. Okay, so show invisible characters, shows characters are invisible. Font size, you can choose to increase or decrease your font size. The default font size for the app is 12 pixels, but for conveniency you should put it at 15 pixels. The visual styles, we'll come back to visual styles later. Then dark theme, you can choose the black. See, this is the black theme. You can choose the light theme. This is the light theme, but I'll leave it at the dark theme. Okay, so autosave, you should know what autosave does. It saves your document automatically after a time that has been stated. So you can choose to leave it at 1 minute, but to be on the safer side, 30 seconds should be better, because after 30 seconds, after when you save your file, 30 seconds later, if you haven't saved it, the app automatically saves it for you. Or if the app saves your file, 30 seconds later it saves it again, to be saving any periodic changes we have been making. That is what it does. Okay, so that is it for the settings. Okay, so if you click on exit, you close the app. You can choose to click on help if you have any issue with the app. So now let's come to the interface itself. So this folder icon offers a lot of options actually, but is limited. So if you click on new, you can create a new file. When you write something, you can choose to save it with the save option in the same folder. You can choose save and save it in any folder you wish to save it in. Okay, let's save it in our projects folder. Okay, let's call it hello.txt. So this is a text file. A text file always has a .txt file extension format. So it has been saved successfully. Okay, so that is what the new button and the save button does. So if you want to open a file that you have saved before, you can go to the directory where you saved it, whether you saved it in your Google Drive, account which you have linked to the app, or you saved it in the bookmarks folder, or you saved it anywhere in the download storage. You can click on it. So to go to our projects folder easily, we'll click on it from the bookmark option, and we'll open a file. Let's open a file, and you can see, okay, it has been opened before. Let's open it again with same steps. So click on open, go to where it is, click on it, and it has been opened successfully. So that is it. So the OpenSAF, will not talk about that for now. Later will come as. So remember, we saved our file, our hello.txt, as a text file. So what if you want to save it as a HTML document? What should we do? Okay, that is simple. We'll click on that same folder icon. We'll click on save as. Clicking on save as gives you the option to save in any. Maybe you have saved it in a folder before and you want to save it in another folder, you can save it. Or maybe you have saved it in a folder before, or you want to change the name or the extension format, you can still save it as that. So you click on this plus icon, you can choose to create a new folder to save it. So let's create a new folder to save it. What should we call it? Let's call it styles. Okay, click on styles. Let's open styles folder, and let's save it as a CSS, as a style sheet file. Okay, so we have chosen to save it. As you can see, it has been saved as hello.css, but here in these tabs it is still showing as hello.txt. That is what the reload button does. It reloads and refreshes any changes you have made before. So as you can see, it has changed immediately. Okay, that's what the reload button does. And finally, the close button closes the tab you're in. So if you click on close, it closes. And it has closed successfully. So now let's move on to the pencil icon. So if you click on the pencil icon, it just simply various normal text editor styles, or rather functions. So if you click on the pencil icon, you can undo whatever you just did. With the undo option, you can redo whatever you just did, whatever you just undo, or rather should I call it undoed, which is not a word. Whatever you just deleted, you can redo it. You can redo something you previously undid, let's put it like that. So you can paste whatever you have copied. Let's see, paste something and you can